It is the last Sling TV Sunday of the NFL season. Hey everybody, I'm Alex Garrett with one leg up on the big game on the Super Bowl with some stats for you. But I've got one question tonight. And if you're a New Yorker, you kind of get it because we see it every time a Super Bowl winner is crowned. Who will light the Empire State Building? If you check out my Instagram, AlexGNYC1, I have a picture in my Niners and my Chiefs gear in front of the Empire State Building. Of course, gear provided by Fanatics. Thanks to them as always. And we'll drop a link in case Christian McCaffrey does something amazing tonight. You'll want to wear his jersey. I'll put that in the bio. And of course, when you do buy from my Fanatics affiliate link, I do make commission, which supports the Alex Garrett Podcast Network. But I got a couple of stats for you tonight. Do you know I'm part of this Inbox Dollars team, and Inbox Dollars said, "Are you going to watch the Super Bowl?" I said, "Of course I am, and I normally watch it just for the game." 27% of that poll, according to Inbox Dollars, said they will not be watching the Super Bowl, and that was the most of all the votes in this certain survey. So will you be watching the Super Bowl, or are you one of the 27%, according to Inbox Dollars, that say we're not going to watch the Super Bowl? Now, of course, the Super Bowl, to me, the big game, is always a cultural icon, whether it be, well, mainly for the halftime show or the commercials. Do we ever really talk about that incredible play, that Roethlisberger to Antonio Holmes touchdown against the Cardinals, or, I don't know, the Manning to Tyree? I mean, does the game ever get featured as the game nowadays, or do you talk about the cultural aspect of the Super Bowl? It's something we all gather around the TV for, one another, unless you're one of the 27%. But mostly we gather around the TV, and it's something to talk about at the water cooler the next day. But this year, as I've stressed with a couple other Super Bowl drop-ins this week, I feel like it's all about the entertainment today in Vegas. I mean, when did we think Taylor Swift landing in Los Angeles would have any effect on the Super Bowl coverage? But it has, and I guess we have to just live with it and accept that she's part of the fold because she's in the Kelsey family fold, right? So there's that. But today I gotta say, though a lot of Swifties, a lot of Chiefies are rooting for the Chiefs, I gotta say, Vivid Seats, according to Sportsnaut, said the majority of fans in Vegas are predicted to be, well, this is expected considering that San Francisco is right next to Vegas in a sense, right? It's a state over. So there's a percentage, according to Sportsnaut and Vivid Seats, out there that say the Chiefs, the Niners fan base will dominate the actual group in attendance. I got to pull up that stat for you here from Vivid Seats because it was sort of like, wow, all this stuff about Taylor and all this stuff about what Mahomes will do, whether he wins his third Super Bowl, or what Kelsey will do. Yet, it was reported that Vivid Seats is saying, San Francisco will have more fans out there than the Chiefs, which I think makes sense, don't you? I think so. I'll find that stat in a second. But what will you be doing today for the Super Bowl? Will you be enjoying it? Will you be not watching it? Will you watch it for different reasons? What's your game plan today? I know I will be certainly watching it with my future in-laws in Long Island. That'll be fun. And, of course, wearing my Montana jersey. And believe it or not, my New York State football sweater, because I do believe at the end of the day, we are New York State, and we should be repped on Super Bowl Sunday. But it's no surprise that the Niners will have more representation out in Vegas. Do you like it being in Vegas? Did you like Super Bowl week? Did you like the coverage of it? Because I thought it was kind of exhausting, some of the coverage about it being in Vegas, about it being the Swiftie Bowl. I mean, all of that. It wasn't about the game this week. And here we go. This is the stat I was looking for. According to Vivid Seats, 58% of the crowd at Allegiant Stadium today will be supporting the 49ers in their 8th ever Super Bowl appearance. Chiefs fans will represent just 42%. So a 58% group want to be the anti-hero today. And I certainly look for Christian McCaffrey to be a factor. I look for Brock Purdy to, although he's a young kid, he looked poised against the Lions in that comeback run. So I look for him to have a game today as well. And of course, some breaking news here. Kadarius Toney not expected to play today against the 49ers, even though he was taken off the injury report. So, as we started the Super Bowl drop-ins, the troubling case of Kadarius has maybe a case closed because he will not be playing in today's Super Bowl. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I think if you're a local, you got to keep an eye on running back Isaiah Pacheco, Rutgers alum, right? Rutgers guy. Keep an eye on him. And if you're Notre Dame, keep an eye on those alums as well. A lot of factors playing into today. And please, just please, can we focus on the game for 60 minutes? 60 minutes. I know that they dropped in on Taylor Swift for about 38 seconds. That's really all it should be. Nothing more, nothing less. 38 seconds is fine. Just focus on the big game, the Lombardi Trophy, as that's what it's all about today, Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, I met Joe Montana, but you know why I also like the Niners? I have said it before. I love that Christian McCaffrey has re-energized his team. And by the way, I am all about snapping droughts. And the Niners haven't won since the 90s. Since the 90s. And a little bit of throwing things into chaos. I wouldn't mind that which is a Greek word, by the way, if the Niners pulled it off. Can they seal the deal? That's the question I asked earlier this week, and I'll say it again on Super Bowl Sunday. Did anybody ask these guys, how will you seal the deal against the Chiefs? That's the question of the week. Enjoy it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be intense. And it's going to be magnified. And Swiftified. I have to just say, this Super Bowl is Swiftified. And whether you like it or not, we just have to accept it and say, hey, let's focus on the game. It's Super Bowl Sunday. All the marbles today in Allegiant Stadium in Viva Las Vegas. Talk to you soon on the Alex Garrett Podcast Network. Enjoy.